Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are at the language exchange event in honor of Day of Independence of United States of America. And today we are with Esteban.
How's it going, guys? My name is Esteban. I am from the US. We're here at Spanglish Social. Check them out on socials if you want to come to one of these. And ready for some questions.
And today we have some questions to Esteban. The first question is, what's the one thing about Paraguay that nobody tells you before you move here?
It's not that boring. I think a lot of people, they see Asunción as like a boring, it's like the boring, like, you know, just chill, do nothing like spot of South America.
Yeah.
Now, sure, if you compare it to some other flashier places, it's not as flashy. But the truth is, like, there's a lot of stuff to do here. Especially once you start making friends, you'll have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. The second question is, if you could change one thing about living here, what would it be?
Ooh. One thing about living here.
Yeah.
Okay. In a perfect world, more public transit would be nice.
Okay.
More public transit, less traffic. It's like a little bit more pedestrian friendly. Like something closer to Buenos Aires. That would be perfect. Maybe we'll have that one day. A very long time from now. But it's okay. We get by.
Okay. Third question is, be honest. Would you recommend Paraguay to a friend? Why or why not?
100%. Like, of course. Now, I'm biased. Maybe I'm not biased. I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. You might say I'm biased. I also make content. I make Paraguay content. I'm very bullish on this place. But yeah, I'd recommend it to a friend who wants a high quality of life, who wants to be in a place with like a positive future, with economic growth, and just with like a lot of optimism and motion and momentum, especially like young guys like us who want to go to somewhere where like we can feel like we're a needle mover in the society, in the community, and the country is moving forward. Like, that's exactly the type of energy a young guy needs. You know, not somewhere where the brightest days are behind, where people are complaining and everybody's you know, angry about politics and nobody knows their neighbor. Like, no, this place has a soul, and that's why I'd so recommend it.
Yeah, also young entrepreneurs are coming here to become better, in the search of opportunities.
100%.
Thank you, Esteban. And the fourth question is, what surprised you most, positively or negatively, about Paraguay?
Just to switch it up, I'm going to go with a negative. Things here move really slow. Everybody told me that going into it, but I didn't know it was this slow. At least when you really start doing business here.
Yeah.
If you don't plan to do business here, and you just want to live and work online and do your thing, you'll be fine. Sure, whatever, like, you got to go to the residency office, or, you know, you go to the bank and it's a little bit slower, but like that doesn't matter. You only do that so often. But if you're really doing business here like we are, things are slow. Things are slow. And again, that shouldn't have been a surprise to me, but coming from the US, it's a big change.
Yeah. And what's positive about Paraguay? What surprised you the most?
How friendly the expat community is. I think this is one of the best expat communities in Latin America. I haven't been all over Latin America, but from what I know, what I hear, the places I have been to, these are some of the best people you will meet.
Yeah, I agree with you. What does Paraguay have that your home country doesn't?
A future.
Okay.
A bright future, a positive future. That's worth more than beaches. That's worth more than food. That's worth more than dating. That's worth more than parties.
Yeah.
That's worth more than low cost of living. In my opinion, that's the defining feature about life in Paraguay, is the future.
So what do you think, like, more young people are going to come to Paraguay
Yes.
in order to work, in order to create something?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it takes a certain level of entrepreneurial spirit to come to an unknown country, especially if you're not a native Spanish speaker, and make it happen. But there's so much opportunity. There's so much in this market that's yet to be introduced, and if you come with that hustle, that a positive outlook, you're friendly to people, you appreciate the culture, and you bring like that grind, that hustle spirit, and a profitable idea that fills a need in the marketplace that is not yet filled, you'll crush it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. Next question is, do you think Asunción is going to boom in the next 5 years or stay the same?
I mean, it's not going to stay the same. Like, I'm not. That's kind of a trick question. Like, it's not going to stay the same. Okay. You could ask how much is it going to boom by, and I think that's more of a conversation topic. It's going to increase 100%. Here's the thing. Paraguay is not just growing at the hands of foreigners. A lot of people worry about a bubble, which, sure, maybe there will be some semblance of a bubble in this overall economy. I'm not just talking about the real estate market, but the overall economy. But where you get more of a bubble is when the growth is solely dependent on tourism. Paraguay is far, far from that. Yes, there is some tourism. There are people moving from abroad, but in the grand scheme of things, we are a drop in the bucket in terms of the amount of growth that this country is going to see. There's a young population, a growing middle class, abundant access to natural resources. Yes, a lot of foreign investment, like not just people, but actual investment. Infrastructure projects going up, abundant access to energy, the hydroelectric dam, like especially with AI, with data centers nowadays, which is the need for energy is going to be so high. It's well placed geographically. There's no earthquakes, there's no hurricanes, there's no natural disasters, there's no wildfires. Like this place, if God were to remove all humans from the earth, and then we were to resettle the earth from scratch, I think this would be one of the most, like this would turn into an empire because of geographically how blessed this area is. So yeah, you combine that with the population, with the stable government, the stable currency, like there are so many just intangible factors that you cannot take away from this place if you raise the taxes on foreigners. You cannot take away from this place if you change the residency rules and get rid of the easy residency. Doesn't matter, it's still gonna grow. So yeah, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, it's gonna be night and day.
It's my personal question. What do you think about Paraguay is landlocked and there is no beaches, there is no oceans?
Sure, it's not as cool as there being an ocean. Woo! The beach, you know? Now, I'm somebody who grew up around beaches a lot. Like, I'm Puerto Rican, grew up in Atlanta, but I spent a bunch of time in Puerto Rico. I've been around the beach a million times. I'm kind of sick of the beach personally, but I can understand if you're somebody who grew up somewhere with no coastline, maybe you want to go see it. Go to Brazil for a bit, see the beach. Once you're tired of the beach, tired of having sand in your trunks, that's just me. Like, I know some people, if you surf, like, some people do swear by the beach. I'm not that fancy over it. But here, you have the river, El Río Paraguay. Asunción is known as the mother of all cities because it was located on El Río Paraguay, which connects to all of the rivers that stem from El Río de la Plata, which is the entrance from the Bay of Buenos Aires, right? Yeah. So for an import-export purposes, it's still functionally, it has coast. It just happens to be that you have to go up with a barge. But for all practical purposes, we have a port. And then now we're building the Bioceanic Corridor, which is going to connect the coast in Chile with the coast in Brazil. And that's going to run right through Paraguay. Bunch of tax money, bunch of opportunity, and even more access to import and export. So the only thing that we're missing out on is just like the fun of the beach for tourism purposes. But for economic purposes, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's like 2 hours flight from here to Brazil.
Exactly.
Actually,
you're close to Argentina, you're close to Colombia, you're close to Brazil, you're close to Chile, you're in the middle of South America. So you've got it all.
Okay, thank you. Next question is Paraguay underrated, overrated, or perfectly rated right now?
I think a few years ago it was underrated. Right now it is properly rated. Being that a lot of the criticisms about it are valid. A lot of the optimism is valid. And it's not super overhyped yet. Maybe it will get to that point. If the growth continues, eventually the hype will outpace the growth. And some people will come here with insane expectations and be disappointed. But right now, people are coming with moderate expectations, and those are being slightly exceeded. So I think it's right in the middle.
Next question is, what's holding Paraguay back from being the next biggest destination?
Time and efficiency. Time in that it's going to keep growing. It is a matter of time. How fast will that happen depends on how efficient things become. There are still a lot of efficiencies in this economy and the way business is done. in the infrastructure and the culture that are more conducive to the chill lifestyle of Paraguay, which is part of the reason why this place is so great. You can come and you can feel that tranquility. However, so to address your question of the boom of the next big thing of economic explosion, it will need to become more efficient, and that will also happen with time. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna happen. Question is how quick.
For example, do you want to see more foreigners coming here, or there are already enough foreigners in this country?
I want to see more of the right foreigners coming here. I think yes, like you walk around Shopping del Sur, you see foreigners, but in the grand scheme of things, there's not that many. As long as foreigners come with good intentions and they're good people and they're here to provide value to the country, by all means.
What brought you to Paraguay, and did it live up to your expectations?
Honestly, when I came here, I was just trying to switch remote jobs, work on a new online job, and save money and focus. I just wanted to lock myself in my apartment and focus up for a bit, and then figure out what I was going to do. Maybe go back to Argentina, maybe go to Bolivia, maybe stay, whatever. It far exceeded my expectations, because now I'm here, and now I have roots here. So yeah, it was like a chill lock-in spot, and now it's my life.
Nice. And the last question is, what's the moment you know Paraguay was for you or wasn't?
Once I started to make friends and build a community here, or I should say become a part of the community here. Once I found that good expat community and started to meet locals and started to go to more events and really integrate myself socially, that's when I knew, okay, this is something that's going to be hard to replace. This is an X factor, this is a quality of life improvement that goes way beyond vanity. And yeah, I found my people, and I didn't look back.
Yeah, I believe this is what makes you feel comfortable, right? When you meet the right people at the right moment, at the right time, when you feel like you're at home, right? When you have the quality of relationships.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, that's all the questions for today. Thank you, Esteban, for the interview.
Of course.
And put a like, subscribe on the channel, and put your questions in the comment. Thank you.
Sure.